Someone says, no one knows where tomorrow will take us. No one knows where the next 10 seconds will lead us. Anything and everything can change in a heartbeat, and I'm not sure if that excites me or terrifies me. This quotation reminds us that we do not know what will happen to us and to this world tomorrow. Nearly 3 years ago, most people had never heard about COVID-19. Nearly 1 year ago, most people did not expect a war to break out between Ukraine and Russia. Today, no one knows what will happen tomorrow in this world. Will there be a global recession? Will there be another war next week? Will there be another pandemic this year? Uncertainty about tomorrow causes anxieties. Like the rest of the world, Christians also do not know about tomorrow. Although we do not know about tomorrow, we know who holds tomorrow. Ira Forrest Stanfield wrote the hymn, I Do Not Know About Tomorrow. In the chorus of the hymn, Stanfield writes, many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. We have confidence to face tomorrow because we know who holds tomorrow and who holds our hand. During the time of John, the early church was living in an uncertain time. The Roman emperor was persecuting the followers of Christ. In Revelation chapter 4, Christ invited John into the heavenly throne rooms to show him that God reigns amid uncertainty. In this vision, John learned that God is not like any human ruler. The four living creatures before the throne of God declares that God is holy, holy, holy. He is the Lord God Almighty and lives forever and ever. John also learned that God is worthy of our worship because He created all things. Everything, seen or unseen, is created by God's will. Everything and everyone exists to give glory to Him. In Revelation chapter 5, John saw God holding in His right hand a scroll written within and on the back, sealed with the 7 seals. Then the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, stepped forward to receive the scroll and open the scroll. This picture gives us the confidence that no matter what happens in the world, believers will have a better tomorrow. Why are we confident of a better tomorrow? First, we are confident because God has a detailed plan for a better tomorrow. The scroll in God's hand is written within and on the back. The phrase written within and on the back indicates that there are a lot of details in the scroll. Commentators debate on what was written in the scroll. Although there is much discussion, we know that the opening of the scroll will lead to the new heaven and the new earth, and the present heaven and the present earth will cease to exist. In Revelation chapter 21, verse 1 to 8, John shared that in the new heaven and new earth, God will dwell with redeemed humanity. John writes, and I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, behold, the dwelling place of God is with men. He will dwell with them, and they will be His people, and God Himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. The voice from the throne is God. His plan is to live with us and for us to live with Him. God will wipe away all our pain and heal us from the curse of death. This promise is a better tomorrow for all believers. When the root of David opens the 7th seal, the scroll will reveal the events leading to the new heaven and new earth. These events are given to us from Revelation chapter 6 to 20. Many of the events are frightening because God is judging humanity that oppose Him. However, God knows all who belongs to Him. God will seal all believers with the seal of the living God. The opening of the 7th seal is the beginning of God's final judgment. The 7th seal will open in Revelation chapter 8. Before the opening of the 7th seal, God will seal all who belongs to Him. John writes, do not harm the earth or the sea or the tree until we have sealed the servants of our God on their forehead. Although John did not explain what the seal of the living God is, we know that this seal is to separate believers that belongs to God and those who do not belong to God. For example, in Revelation chapter 9 verse 1 to 12, God will torment the world with the locusts that have the power of scorpions. These locusts will torment only those who do not have the seal of God on their forehead. John says, they were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any green plant or any tree, but only those people who do not have the seal of God in their forehead. This verse shows that God will watch over us even as He pours out His final judgment on the world to make all things new. God's detailed plan is the first reason for our confidence in a better tomorrow. Second, we are confident of a better tomorrow because God has a worthy person to execute His plan. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 2, a strong angel proclaimed, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seal?" There was no one in heaven or on earth worthy to receive the scroll and open it. The strong angel that made the proclamation is also not worthy to open it. God is not looking for a powerful individual to execute His plan. Strength alone does not make one worthy to receive and open the scroll. God is looking for another quality above power and strength. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 4, John began to weep because no one worthy is found. One of the 24 elders revealed to John that the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered, so that he can open the scroll and its 7 seals. The verb to conquer will give the impression that strength was used to conquer. Instead of a powerful conqueror, John saw a sacrificial lamb standing before God. John described what he saw. "And between the throne and the 4 living creatures, among the elders, I saw a lamb standing, as though it had been slain, with 7 horns and with 7 eyes, which are the 7 Spirits of God sent out into all the earth. And he went and took the scroll from the right hand of him who was seated on the throne." The Lion of Judah is the lamb that was slain. The lion did not conquer by exercising his power. The lion conquered by sacrificing himself. The Lion of Judah is not powerless. The Lion of Judah is the lamb with 7 horns. The number 7 signified complete or fullness. These horns are symbols of power. The 7 horns signify the fullness of his power. The lamb has complete power, yet chose to be killed. The lamb was willing to die for others. The lamb also has 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God. God does not literally have 7 spirits. The 7 spirits signify the fullness of God's spirit. Since the lamb has the fullness of God, this picture signifies that the lamb was God himself. In other words, God died for us by becoming the lamb, the Lion of Judah, the root of David. The sacrificial lamb is the second reason for our confidence for a better tomorrow. Third, we are confident of a better tomorrow because God ransomed us for himself. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 8, the 4 living creatures and 24 elders fell down to worship the Lamb. They sang a new song to the Lamb. A new song signified that the Lamb has done something new. In Revelation chapter 5 verse 9 to 10, the content of the new song describes the new thing that the Lamb had done. The Lamb is worthy to receive and open the scroll because he sacrificed himself to ransom people for God from the whole of humanity. The Lamb made those whom he ransomed into a kingdom and priests to serve God. The ransomed people shall reign with him on earth. The new song shows that we are precious to God. The Lamb paid for our release from condemnation with his blood. The Lamb's blood ransomed us for God. Have you ever moved house? Moving house is a great opportunity to throw or give away things that we don't need. When we move into a new house, we will bring only those things that are precious to us. We will pay the mover to shift our precious things from the old house to the new house. Similarly, God is going to have a new heaven and a new earth. He is going to bring all who are precious to him from the present heaven and earth into his new creation. The price of bringing all who are precious to him into the new heaven and new earth is the blood of the Lamb. In other words, we will have a better tomorrow because God has already paid a high price to bring us into the new heaven and new earth. This sacrificial death of the Lamb shows that we are precious to God and the Lamb. This new song also shows that we have a better status in the new heaven and new earth. When the Lamb redeemed us for God, he also made us into a kingdom and priests for God. As a kingdom, we will have authority to reign with the Lamb. As a priest, we will have a special place in the presence of God. We will represent God to his new creation and represent his creation before God. Therefore, we will have a better status tomorrow. This new song also reminds us that we are ransomed by God's grace. While we are precious to God, there is nothing good in us. Sin, which is lawlessness, has infected everyone. We all deserve to die because of the infection of lawlessness and the symptoms of lawlessness. The symptoms of lawlessness are our behavior and attitude that breaks God's law. Instead of us shedding our blood for our infection and symptoms of lawlessness, the Lamb shed his blood on our behalf to give us a better tomorrow. The blood of the Lamb is the third reason for our confidence in the better tomorrow. In summary, why are we confident in the better tomorrow? First, we are confident because God has a detailed plan for tomorrow. Second, God has a worthy person to execute his plan. Third, God ransomed us for himself. If we believe that we will have a better tomorrow, how do we express our faith in God and the Lamb? In Revelation chapter 5, verse 11 to 12, the heavenly hosts worshipfully declare, "Worthy is the Lamb who was slain, to receive power and wealth, and wisdom and might and honor and glory and blessing." In Revelation chapter 5, verse 13 and 14, all living creatures worshipfully declare, "To him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be blessings and honor and glory and might forever and ever." Since the whole of creation worship God and the Lamb, we too must join the whole of creation to worship God and the Lamb. When we worship God and the Lamb, our worship expresses our faith in God and the Lamb. When we say Amen together with the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders, our worship expresses our alignment with them in declaring that God and the Lamb are worthy of our worship. We do not know what will happen tomorrow. However, we know that God and the Lamb hold tomorrow. Therefore, instead of worrying about tomorrow, let us worship daily the one who holds tomorrow and the one who holds our hand. If the video encouraged you, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel to receive notification of new videos. Thank you for watching.